Hey guys, Ginny here for the XBL Party Podcast, and today I'm going to be talking through Moonscars. So Moonscars is a game developed by Black Mermaid and published by Humble Games, which released back in September of 2022. It's kind of a non-linear roguelike, and there's not much more you can use to describe the type of game that it is. You're expected to die over and over and over again, and each time you do, you learn a bit more about yourself, the world that you're in. I think Hades, how you'd interact with a couple of characters each time you die, and the dialogue changes, except a bit on a lesser level here, and it's on a 2D plane instead of the more isometric view that used. So gameplay wise, like I said, it's a very smooth combat, very good movement, a lot of platforming and combat elements. It's really fun to play. You get this bone dust and glands and things that you pick up from enemies. You can use that then to upgrade your skills, become more powerful, and learn certain techniques, etc., which then make fighting the enemies even better. And one of the cool things I love on this game is there's always wall spikes around, so you can get some of the more difficult enemies to charge towards you, slide past them and smash them into the spikes. It's really, really rewarding to do so. One of the elements of this game that I really enjoyed, seemed to set it apart from others in this genre, is that in order to return back and spend these points and upgrade yourself, you have to enter through a mirror. Doing so leaves a husk of yourself behind, so it actually kills yourself by going back. When you then return to the world, the version of yourself that you left behind is waiting there to kill you. So in order to get everything you had back in terms of your upgrades that you pick up through the level and other things, you have to kill yourself, the overpowered version of yourself that you left behind, to then get your powers back. I hope I explained that okay, but it's a really cool concept that each time you come back, the better version of you there is waiting for you to be killed so you can return to who you were. I really enjoyed that concept of it. Story-wise, the story isn't really the huge emphasis on here. You're playing one of the characters that this god-like creature created. So you made humanity, and then he made these clay creatures, which have basically turned their back on him, and you've been sent out to destroy the clay creatures, you and a group, and you find out throughout the story that not everything was as it seemed, and some of the group that you're involved in have actually perished, and you could have been responsible for it. You don't quite know, and yeah, or is it that they're becoming corrupt by the Force and trying to blame you? And then you'll discover all this as you go. But it's quite, the story isn't the main drive; it's the gameplay here. Graphics wise, it has quite a unique art style, I would say. Very gothic, kind of pixel arty and retro. It's lovely at times. The character is more pixelated than anything else in the level, however, so you can see on some of the levels you can make out like individual leaves and a lot of small detail, but the character itself is very pixelated, and so are some of the other ones. It's a pleasant game. It's nice enough. It's there's some great effects going when the game really gets into action and you're fighting multiple people at a time, but there's other games out there in this genre like Hollow Knight and the Rita Boy that have a much more unique art style. So I wouldn't say that the art style and the graphics in this are the best out there in the genre, but it's nice enough. It does its job. Audio wise, this is probably one of the weaker points of the game. The music isn't really much to write home about. The sound effects are not fantastic, and there's huge parts of dialogue with the person who created you and other ones, and it's just mumbling or like a cheap sound effect with text over. It becomes a bit grating after time. So audio is definitely the weakest part of this game, I would say. Overall, in my opinion of the game from playing is that it's actually a pretty good game. I enjoyed my playthrough. I'd recommend playing through it if you're a fan of the genre and you like these roguelikes where you're going to die again and again and learn and get better. It's not the best one in the genre, but it's by no means the worst. It's a good game. There's just a few things on there that may grate you after a while, but overall the gameplay is the main positive thing in here. It's so fluid and solid, the combat, that a few other games in the genre probably that I rate more are nowhere near as competent in that area. So that's my review of Moonscars. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, consider giving the video a like and also subscribing to the XBL Party podcast. We do new reviews, podcasts and streams every day. So thanks for watching.